Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Welcome back to the Cherry Bomb Blossom Boutique. My name is Renan, your lovely fashion dolly, and I guess welcome to a new episode of the Seem Stylish podcast, even though this is not the Seem Stylish podcast, and this is not even a video, this is a live stream. But I'm gonna be honest, chat, I was this close to canceling stream, particularly when it came to the data between stream, because I did a lot yesterday. Yesterday was an eventful night. Hey Aaron, how you doing, sweetheart? How's it going? How's it hanging? How you doing? How was your weekend? Because I'm gonna talk about my weekend. And boy, let me tell you, it was an experience. But first, let's get up into a little bit of what's been going on as of late. Because if you haven't noticed, I haven't really been streaming a lot. And I am trying to shift gears and do more focus on videos, which makes me feel bad. Because here's the thing. The thing about videos is that they take a long time to produce and do. And in general, it's just one of those things that, if without help, it can kind of be hard to split your attention between full-time streaming and actually doing YouTube videos. So because of that, I am trying to figure out a balance, figure out a way in which I can do both. But there's gonna be times in which I cannot do both. And I feel like that's fair, right? I feel like that's okay. Particularly because my videos, I pride myself on them being a very high quality video. I do not believe that what I'm giving you is not worth the time that you don't have me around, right? But, you know, it's still one of those things that I feel pretty bad about, you know? I feel pretty bad that I'm not able to be here with you guys all the time and chat about stuff. But in a certain sense, it is kind of sometimes better, I guess. Sometimes, maybe. I don't know. Because the way that I think about it is, is that you have to go out there as a streamer. Sometimes you have to go out there and get some type of experience in life so that you can relay it to your chat, talk about it, exaggerate, make sure that you are providing new information to your chat, right? Although, let's be honest here, at least here in the Renan Studios, we reheat our nachos at least once every 2 weeks. Because, as you might know, I have ADHD and I forget everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. I can barely remember my own birthday. If you guys remember, I think earlier this year, I actually forgot when my birthday was. So, it is not a thing that escapes me that I forget things, you know? So, I don't even know where I was going with that. See, that's how it happens. That's how it happened. ADHD happened, and I don't even know where I was going with that. But anyway. The point then being that I feel like I think that my videos are good enough to justify you guys not having me here all the time, and I hope that that's not gonna be the thing forever. I hope that whenever I'm able to get this off the ground, I can hire help. I can get help. This is a cry for help. This is indeed a cry for help. I am crying for help over here because I need help editing these fucking videos. But, you know, there's neither here nor there. Oh, no! Bitch! How dare you show your face around here after all these years? After all these years, you have the gall, the audacity to be here after all this fucking years, huh? Huh? Hey Nova, how you doing, sweetheart? But yes, crying, tears, despair. Things that happen. But how you been, Nova? It's been so long. And there was even a time. There is also somebody on YouTube who has been around a lot nowadays. There's somebody on YouTube. Her name is Liv, but in YouTube she shows up as Nova Civ. And for a while I was calling her Nova, and then I was like, I don't think I should call her Nova, because I mean, there's already a Nova, so there is two Novas. You know, there's two Novas, and so I asked Nova, I asked Liv what her profane name was. She was like, "Oh, my name is Liv," and I was like, "Ooh, that's good. That means I don't have to. It doesn't have to be awkward whenever eventually we have to exhume your corpse and you come back to life." You know, the model is so expressive now. I know this is a work in progress project that I've been working on, and I kind of wanted to use it, and I figured because this is a just chatting stream, I feel like it would be better to have a model that actually moves better, you know, that actually has facial expression. I was killed, but I live. Thank you. But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Anyway, moving on to other things. I don't know how many of you play gacha games, right? Do we have gacha gaming viewers here? I mean, I assume that at least in some capacity with you. Because my most popular video so far is the Genshin video, and I will assume that a lot of my viewers are indeed into gacha games, but I don't know. I normally don't talk about this stuff because it's my me time, you know. It is for me and nobody else. Because I don't know, those gacha games like Genshin Impact, or like Hoyoverse gacha games, which is the ones that I play a lot, right? I never played a gacha game before. Never do it. My advice, don't. My advice is, do not. Do fucking not. Do not get into gacha games. Ever. Save yourself. Run. Enjoy them from the sidelines. You know what? What you're gonna do is you're gonna get yourself a friend. I know, chat. It's really hard to get friends. You guys are my viewers. I doubt that you have that big of a social circle. So, what you're going to do is get a friend who likes those games and then experience them from the outside looking in. That is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to experience a gacha game. Cause once you are in, and if you like the gameplay, I'm sorry, there is no way of saving you, and we will murn you. We will murn your body. I'm sorry about that. So sorry about that. Anyway. My partner got me into some Uma Musume, and I said your opinion on Rice Shower. My daughter! Honestly, can I be so real, Chad? Can I be so real? Like, not to be sacrilegious, not to unfortunately be that girl, but I dropped Uma Musume. I dropped Uma Musume, and I was so into it. Don't get me wrong, I'm so into it. I still like the horses. I am still into horsing. I like horsing around. Not gonna lie, ever since I play Uma Musume, I get a lot of horse content in my YouTube page, and I live for it. Because I love horse. There is no other way than just to be horse. Horse is the way of life. Horse is the way in which humans communicate. Horse is what we should all aspire to be, you know? It's just the type of thing that it just brings me so much joy, you know? It brings me an immeasurable amount of joy to learn about horses. Because horses are just like oversized puppies, you know? They're oversized puppies. They are dangerous killing machines with the mind of a 4-year-old. I did too. Oh my god, I just stopped one day and I was so into taking care of a gray cat. She was my daughter. I know! Rice Shower was my daughter too. You have no idea how much time I spent racing and taking care of Rice Shower. Like, I was invested into making her my best horse. And then, because, you know, I had to raise other horses to make my daughter a better horse, as it turns out, you know, easier horses, more overpowered horses tend to be stronger than the hard to tame, and honestly, not really that good horse. Like, Right Shower is good, don't get me wrong, but when I got Oguri Cap and I trained her, and I didn't even have to reset just once, I felt so bad. I felt so bad for my girl. I felt so bad. But yeah, anyway, so I am into gacha games. I mean, like, unfortunately, Hoyoverse has their foot on my neck. They have a chokehold. I enjoy all of the Hoyoverse gacha games except for Petit Planet. Petit Planet is not really for me. And Honkai Impact 3rd also. Honkai Impact 3rd is not really my thing, right? And there is no man in there. Just to say that. There's no man in there. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm pretty into the Hoyoverse ecosystem. And the most recent thing that came out was Amphorius, the ending of a one-year-old saga. Amphorius, and I will tell you this. Never has a game made me cry as hard as Amphorius did. The most recent in memory was Final Fantasy XIV. And I can guarantee you Final Fantasy XIV has a much better plotline than whatever the fuck Amphorius has going on. So, either one of two things happen. Either my standards are on the fucking ground because it's a Hoyoverse game, or the story is really good. And I think the real answer is midway through, you know? Because that's the thing. It is not that it's difficult to make me cry. Listen, you guys saw how I cope with horror games. It is very easy to make me cry, regardless of what you try to do to me. However, I will say, never have I actually considered spending money on a gacha game just because of how much I like the character. Until now. It is a good thing. It is a good thing that I am fucking poor. It is a good thing that we are not in an economic position to be spending money in games that don't matter. In games that are going to vanish up in smoke. So, I at least have that into consideration. But one of the things that I realized about that whole situation with Amphorius in general is just how much power music has over my heart, right? Like, music does a lot to me. Sound design, but like music in particular, and good usage of music can really just drive a scene into a spot in which it feels undeniably perfect, you know? It just feels perfect. And the reason why I realized this is because, you know, sometimes I feel like I feel like being in pain, I guess. I guess sometimes I like to feel something, right? Sometimes I like to feel anything, positive or negative. I just want to feel. And so I have been torturing myself putting songs that made me cry in the past, and they still have such a deep effect on me. Once again, Final Fantasy XIV. I forget the name of the song, but there is also if you guys ever played that game called Spiritfarer. Have you guys ever played Spiritfarer? Spiritfarer. Can I enunciate properly, please? I think it got the better of Uma Musume. Also, I feel like the game got bloated with the competitive scene, and it felt too serious. I think it's also how to put this in a way. It's also the fact that the gacha game is really ruthless. Like, the actual gacha of Uma Musume is incredibly ruthless. Like, it's one of those things that it doesn't feel good at all to pull for the characters, because you're not building up to anything. Like, Hoyoverse may be gritty as fuck, Hoyoverse may be fucking greedy, but at least you feel like you're progressing to something. In Uma Musume, you feel like you are desperately praying to the gods, trying and making sacrifices, going out and grabbing a newborn baby, sucking the blood out, just to get the horse to look at you. And oftentimes, they do not reply. They put the phone on hold. They put you on, I don't know, what's it called? What was it called again? I feel like I'm old enough to know this, but I don't know what it's called. Contestadora? What's that called? The answering machine? They put you with the answering machine. They put you on a different line. So, I didn't like that part. I didn't like that part because you guys know I actually tried so hard to get I think her first name was Falcon. I think that was her name, Falcon something. I tried so hard to get the Falcon, the Falcon horse, and I just couldn't. I couldn't. You know who I got? I fucking got Ogura Cap. And so because of that, I just dropped Uma Musume. I didn't enjoy it very much. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the gacha system of it. The actual horse racing was really good, but at some point in time, it's just like, okay, I've seen this, you know? I've seen this. I felt this. This feeling is not new anymore. So I enjoy it for what it is. For what it was, Uma Musume was a great game for a little bit. It was a little bit. It was a good time to pass the time. I am glad I got the Umas that I wanted. Well, good for you. Good for you, Draconic Weeb. Good for you, because I suffered. I suffered so much. I am happy. Actually, you know what? One thing that I will give Uma Musume is that they give you at least the choice to get one of your favorites Umas, I guess, from the beginning lineup for free. Because you don't know how much faster I would have dropped the game if I would have not been able to get Rice Shower. You know? You know? The way that I would have dropped that game so fucking fast if I didn't get Rice Shower, you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea. Gold Ship and El Condor Pasa. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like a Condor Pasa. Like, I read her story and all, and I wasn't really enchanted. I wasn't really charmed. But anyway, back to music. Back to the topic of music. So it's been a while since I played Spiritfarer. It was one of the first games that I played in my Vtuber career, right? Particularly, one of the first games that I did when I first got an actual moving model that could track me, you know? And the thing I've been doing, like I said, is being a bit of a... being ever so slightly, just ever so slightly a masochist, as Nova so eloquently put it. And I've been, like, listening to the ending song of Spiritfarer and just crying. Just crying. Because it feels good to cry, you know? Crying is like one of those things in which, like, maybe sometimes you just gotta induce it to be able to move on, you know? It's either, listen, it's either that, it's either I cry I put music and I cry, or I just go to League of Legends and I just rage. So I don't know. I feel like listening to music and crying might be a better outlet for my stress and anxiety than playing League of Legends and actively getting banned. I feel like that's better. I don't know about you. I feel like that's better. I mean, let us cool. I did get the new Rice Shower support. Don't make me go back to Uma Musume because I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to get my soul crushed again. I don't want to get my soul crushed again from trying to get the Uma that I wanted and never got it. Ooh. But yeah. But yeah, I recommend Spiritfarer. I recommend Spiritfarer a lot. If you haven't played it, I recommend it. It's so good. It's so good. Off this journey where we grew as friends. Sorry, it just invaded my brain. It is a mind virus. It came in and invaded my brain. Anyway, now Dad, I think that has been enough stalling. Let's talk about the crux of today's issue. Let's talk about why I decided to do a just chatting stream instead of honoring my work and doing a date everything stream. Well, first of all, Chad, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor here, okay? I'm gonna need you to do me a favor. I need you to stand up. I need you to stand up. Stand up, please. Everybody stand up. I see you right there in the background. Don't think that you're escaping from me. Stand the fuck up. Thank you. Now that everybody stand up, I need everybody to give me a standing ovation. I need a standing ovation. I need to see clap emojis right about now. I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for them. Girls, my leg hurts. Well, too fucking bad, bitch. My legs hurt too. So I'm waiting for clapping. Clapping, please. Thank you, Liv. Thank you. Hold on. I'm looking for a very specific. Very specific sound effect for this bed. Hold on. Was it Nickelodeon? There you go. Actually, yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all so much for your applause. I appreciate it. I appreciate your applause. And you guys would never believe what I just did. I went out. I touched grass. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know you guys are so fucking proud of me, right? Y'all are so proud of me. No, yes, I did. You would not believe it, girl. You would not believe it. Okay, but this actually wasn't just, you know, me. Hold on, let me take my top off. It's getting too hot in here. 1 second. It was very cold earlier, and now it is fucking hot as shit. Give me 1 moment. I need to get in the mood for this. Ugh. My hair is up, dude. What's happening? Anyway, moving on. So, this wasn't just going out, as in me, like, you know, me going to the store or anything, or like doing groceries. No. I actually went out. I actually went to a club, which is weird because you would think that me being an extrovert, I would actually not go out. Like, I would actually be used to going out and going places, but no. In fact, I actually do not like the outside. I don't like the outdoors. I feel like everything that is good and productive is home, you know? Everything good and productive is home. By the way, hi, Mr. Never Taken L. How you doing, sweetheart? Hello, Gambius. How you doing? I don't think I ever said I said hi to you, Liv, but hello, Liv. How you doing, sweetheart? Great. Thank you all so much for coming here for this little, honestly, kind of pathetic talk, but you know what? Anyway, so I went out clubbing last night. I went to a disco, and let's just start from the beginning, shall we? Let's just start from the beginning. So, I am the type of friend who doesn't really like to go out, as stated before. I prefer to stay home. I prefer to do things in the home, or just like go to somebody else's place, right? Like, let's just say that you and I are hanging out. I much prefer that we either go to a cafe, a restaurant, maybe go watch a movie, right? Or we stay home and we have like a home date, right? Like we watch, I don't know, we watch Final Destination and then I shit myself because it's too scary. I prefer stuff like that. That is the stuff that I am into. I much prefer quality time over lights and bombastic noises, right? But this time around, it was different because last year, my friends went out clubbing too, because this was my friend's birthday. Let's call her Ball. Her name is Ball. My friend Ball, her birthday was this Friday, and I normally don't accept their invitations because they like to actually go out and do unscrupulous shit at night. You know, they are the type of party animal. And I just don't, that's not my vibe. But because I didn't want to be that type of friend to just always say no to invitations. Like, I barely have a circle. Here's the thing. My social circle is pitifully small. It is actually kind of pitiful how small my social circle is. So I don't want to further reduce it by not accepting invitations when they're given. I barely go out by itself. So sometimes you gotta take an L. And for the sake of having friendships, you gotta just push yourself out of your comfort zone. You know? So I got invited to this place. And I was a little nervous. So during the morning, one of the first things that I did was figure out the outfit. Because, you know, I'm a fashion girly. I need to figure out the outfit. I need to know what's going on. Because I never gone clubbing before. I didn't know kind of like what the protocol was. Like, what is the dress code? Like, are we talking high-end gala? Am I supposed to put on a wedding dress? Or was it more of like shorts and tennis shoes type of night, you know? What do you... Okay, I need to ask. Maybe this... Now that I think about it, I know my audience. You guys don't go out eat it, do you? I was thinking about it. I was about to ask you this question. And maybe correct me. Correct me if I am wrong. But I feel like the majority of you are not the type to go out dancing or to do anything like that. And I am sorry if this is like calling somebody out. And don't worry, I'm calling myself too. I mean, you guys are my audience. I attract you for a reason. But I feel like I was gonna ask what was your clubbing fit? You know, if you used to go clubbing, what was your clubbing fit? But I feel like the majority of you don't go out anyway. Oh, I'm lying. You actually went clubbing, Liv? Oh, an anomaly. Okay, but girl, what is the clubbing fit though? What is the clubbing fit? What do you do? Tell me. I'm a white girl. I can't dance. That doesn't mean shit. There was a bunch of white girls in the club last night, and they were dancing, bitch. They were dancing. Okay, so just to give you while I wait for you guys' like fit ideas or things that, you know what? Let's put it in a hypothetical scenario. For those of you who did not go out, but in a very imaginative scenario, if you were to go out dancing to a club, what would you wear? Let's put it there, just to include everybody here, you know? Loose sweats with a cute tang and hair up with some chains. Ooh, okay, that's good actually. That's good because then, like, when you're dancing, you're you know, making noise. Make sure that everything jingles. I'm especially equal guy, white girls, with no ass and doesn't drink. I don't drink either. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. I had to clock some bitches. Yesterday. Because here's the thing. My friends are heavy drinkers. Like, those bitches they are fucking sanitized with the amount of alcohol that they consume. I am not joking. They are the type of people that if they touch you, there is no way that you can get COVID because they basically excrete rubbing alcohol. That's how bad the drinking is. But you know what? I am not one to judge. I'm a fucking Vtuber. Come on. I have no right to judge anyone. Disinfected. I know, right? They disinfect you. That's the type of level of alcohol consumption. And, you know, I had to clock them because they kept insisting that I take a drink. And I don't drink. Listen, there is several things I could put on my body. Alcohol is not one of them. You know? No alcohol, no drugs, and not smoking. I know I sound like a very boring person. I don't care. You know, I would like many things to happen to me. Dying early is not one of them. So, you know, I don't drink either. And they kept insisting that I had to drink. I had to drink at least something. And I was getting pissed. I ain't gonna lie, because I went out to have fun. I went out to actually engage with this with abandon. Why? Because, I don't know, it's just a new thing. It's a new thing. Like, I'm trying a new thing for me that I've never done before. I kind of want to do it in my own terms, you know? And so, we kind of had a little bit of drama for that a little bit. But then we hashed it out where we're like, you know what? I ain't gonna tell you shit about your drinking, and you're not gonna tell me shit about my not drinking, okay? Like, if we want to get real, I will fucking call Alcoholics Anonymous on you. So, you don't judge me for my drinking, and I don't judge you for yours. So, let me have my orange juice in peace. Thank you. So, yeah. Definitely smoking is longer cool. Thank God. Although vaping is back in the table, but you know what? You know what? It is what it is. I'm sorry to leave so soon. I had to, and I just had a 4 a.m. shift. Oh, no worries, sweetheart. Go ahead. It's okay. You don't have. Listen, never feel bad if you have to go, because you know what? I know that you always come back to me eventually. I mean, look, it's been 8 months, Nova. I'm still came back. I'm kidding. But yeah, anyway, do whatever you gotta do, sweetheart. It's okay. Thank you so much for coming. So, anyway, that is a lot of preamble. And so after drinking, after going to this place in which they had a couple drinks, I just had my orange juice. A very fan. Let's be honest, cocktails are just like very fancy, very fancy juices. They're a very fancy fruit juice. And I had one. I had a couple. I'm gonna lie. I had a couple. I had a couple of them. And then when we actually went to the club, Mary, when I tell you, I felt like I got hit by a truck and I was suddenly isekai'd into another world. Like, the way that I felt like I was in like a shonen manga, and somebody did like domain expansion on my ass, because the moment that I stepped in, I was incredibly disoriented. I was disoriented. There were flashing lights. There were really sexy people dancing, throwing it back super duper hard. Like, when I tell you, I have never ever seen somebody shake their booty in a way that you feel the sound waves coming off of it and hitting you in the face. It was wild. It was a wild club, and it was a discoteca. I think in English it's like discotheque. So it was like 70s, 80s inspired. It was like older songs. People were dressed the part, by the way. I felt so underdressed for this occasion, because people were out here with their belt, like their belt pants, like the belt leg pants. With some people had like actual wig afros. Some others had like the bandanas, like the peace signs, like very much 70s inspired. And rhinestones and everything was shining and pretty, and I was like, I do not belong here. This is not my gig. This is not my gig. And so when I went in, it felt immediate sensory overload. So I had to stand there in the middle of the dance floor for like a good 2 minutes, just processing the information that was being given to me. Because it was hard to think about the logical next step. And let me tell you, at that point, it was already like 11 p.m. And I don't know if you know this, but I am a little bit of a grandma. I do not last very long after 12 a.m. You know, something happened during college in which, after doing so many all-nighters, I can no longer take sleeping too late. So, we get to the club. And one of the first things, and this was a friend of a friend, right? This person was a friend of a friend. She did not know me, I did not her. We just briefly interacted while we were having drinks, and some of us were having dinner, right? And the first thing this bitch did, she came up to me, grabbed my hand, and put me right in front of the hottest fucking man I have ever seen in my entire fucking life. Like, when I tell you, oops, that is the wrong emote. When I tell you, I was already a little bit far gone within like my disassociation. So I could not help but stare right down at the massive tits that this man had. And let me tell you, my head is not small. I do kind of have a little bit of a big head. My head, it is, you know, it is sizable, right? And this man's tits were almost double my size in my head. Like, I could genuinely try to grab it, and I could not have, and I would not even have, I would have so much of a fistful that I don't think I could even grab them all by myself. That's the thing. The Tate Capital Distribution System decided it was your turn. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And here's the thing. I am awkward. I'm awkward as fuck. I am very socially awkward. So I didn't know what to do. And the funniest thing is that this man just started dancing around me. As in, like, I was just standing there and this man was like, just, you know, the normal dancing. And I feel like the rule of dancing is just like swaying side to side, you know, just swaying, just having fun, right? And so he was swaying more or less like this. And once in a while throwing like a little step, like a little fancy flourish. And I was just there, just like man standing emoji for a little bit. Until I kind of picked up the rhythm and I started like quote unquote dancing myself. Quote unquote. I don't want to call it dancing because honestly, I don't know what I was doing. But it didn't feel like I was dancing. And so I danced with him for a little bit. But we didn't really talk, you know? I did not have the gall and audacity to talk to him. That's the thing. I couldn't talk to him even if I tried. Because, first of all, it was so loud. The music was incredibly loud. I couldn't hear anything. So, it felt like a fever dream. And I was just, you know, like feeling myself until I realized that even though she plopped me in front of this man that I realized is basically my type, huge tits, big back, relatively nice ass. It wasn't the biggest thing. It was, let's be honest, he was one of those men that were like, I do leg day at least once a month, you know, rather than focusing on his legs really. So he was really skinny on the legs. But otherwise, he was very much my type, you know? He was sculpted, exactly. He was sculpted from the waist up. From the waist up, he was very sculpted. And so I realized that this man, who is basically my type, even though he smiled at me for a second and was dancing around me, he wasn't really looking at me. And you know what? For the first time in my life, I am not in shambles that a man didn't care for me. Because it felt a little bit freeing, you know? Because I realized in that moment that when he wasn't really minding me, more so just swaying side to side, not really dancing at first, I realized in that moment that there is no bad dancing on the dance floor. There is absolutely no bad dancing on the dance floor. The worst thing you can do in a dance floor is stay still. But so long as you are moving, even if it's just like swaying side to side a little bit, just like bopping your head, you know, it doesn't matter because people are not looking at you. First of all, they can barely hear you. They can barely hear you. And even if they do laugh, you cannot hear them because the music is so fucking loud, right? That's the thing. You cannot hear them. And the other thing is that everybody's just feeling themselves. There was this girl who genuinely, I'm telling you, she was doing acrobatics. It was like a drag race performance. She was out here voguing, moving her hands, and just absolutely feeling herself. And that is like one of the biggest takeaways I took from this experience is just no bad dancing on the dance floor. It's just having fun. And so eventually I did let myself go. And what I tell you, the way that the moment It's Raining Men by the Weather Girls came on, it was my moment. It was my time to shine. I was feeling it. I was feeling my oats, baby. I quietly say, it's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen. Like, I tell you, I have gone a limp sync on Drag Race, you know? I have gone a limp sync on Drag Race with that song in particular. It was so fun. And my friends were looking at me, and at first I thought they were laughing at me, right? Because, you know, the first thing as a socially awkward person, the first thing that you think is that people are laughing at you when they smile. But, you know, because I was feeling it, I didn't really care too much until I noticed they weren't laughing. They were just happy for me, you know? They were happy for me because I was actually having fun. Because that was one of the things that they were kind of afraid for me going in, is that I wouldn't have fun while in this ambience that I'm not really normally on, you know? And so, because I continued dancing and just having fun, they joined me. They joined in on me. We did one of those moves, which is like when you kind of do like an S curve, but like going down a little bit. Like when it was like amen and just slowly going down. I felt that in my knees, by the way. I felt that in my knees. I feel like never have I felt like an old man before until I started dancing. So it was just so much fun. It was really fun. I would never do it again though, personally, I would never do it again. It's not because I didn't have fun. I engage with it with abandon. I think that's the best way to engage with things that you are not particularly fond of, is just to try and engage and genuinely have fun with it. But I don't think I will do it again. At least not in my own volition. Like, if I get an invite, I will go. But I don't think, if it were my turn to choose where to go, I don't think I would do that. Because at the end of the day, don't get it twisted, that place was exhausting. In many ways than one, you know? In many ways than one. I just couldn't hear anything. I could not even feel my heartbeat. You know, that's how loud the music was being. I'm pretty sure at some point in time, the sound waves of the music just kind of took over my own heartbeat, and whatever like drum that I was feeling was the music and not my own heart, you know? And it's also kind of like bad on your lungs. They put a lot of smoke in that bitch. So it was really bad on your lungs, and I just couldn't breathe very well either. So it was the type of space that I don't think I would be in for too long if it wasn't for my friends. One highlight that I will point out about this though, about this whole situation, is that I don't know how you bitches do this in heels. I'm sorry. Like, Liv, any woman out there who goes clubbing and do this in heels, I wasn't wearing a particularly uncomfortable shoe. I was wearing a leather boots they're already kind of broken in. So they're not uncomfortable, right? So at some point in time, I was just feeling the hurt. I was really feeling it in my calves because I was letting myself go. You know, I let myself go. And I remember distinctly. At some point, I remember I stopped feeling my legs. I could still move them, of course. I could still move and I could still like dance around the party floor. But that's when I knew. That is when I knew. This bitch gonna hurt in the morning. You know how this is gonna hurt like hell because my brain disconnected the sensitivity of my feet just so that it would stop hurting. So that is how you know it's gonna fucking hurt. I wear Converse. Escalossi won't let me. Escalossi won't let me wear heels. Honestly, you ain't missing much. You ain't missing much. They're not. They look really pretty, but only for standing. Not really for doing anything else. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Let the music take you, and you're feeling your legs. I know. So it was an amazingly fun experience. You know, it was an amazingly fun experience. I, unfortunately, and I'm so sorry, chat. I did drop the ball. Oh, let me just drink some water. Wow, my model just had a fun time right there, huh? I did fumble the bag a little bit, Chad. I ain't gonna lie. I did fumble the bag a little bit. Why? Because I really should have tried to make a move on that man. Like, I really should have tried. I should have tried to enjoy that man a little bit more. Can I just say, by the way? So, because it's a club, there is like pretty tight security, right? There's pretty tight security. You kind of want people to go in without anything that could be lethal, right? And so, one of the first things, and when I tell you, every single man in this place, including the workers, every single man in this place was fucking hot as fuck. I don't know how. I don't know what Garden of Eden I entered for a moment. But security was really freaking hot too. And so, because I present as a man for the most part, right? Even though I look really feminine and I do wear like feminine clothes from time to time, that time I was presenting fairly masculine, right? And so I got a male guard. The way that I kind of felt something when I was being slightly manhandled by this man who was feeling for any type of weapon on my person, because they do like a hands in search, you know? They palpate you. They get handsy with it, and I feel like that is the hallmark of me still being a virgin. Whenever I felt an electrifying feeling just by being touched by somebody who was not my family. Like, it felt really nice to feel the warmth of another person, even if it was for 1 second. So, you know what? Maybe I just need to get fucked. I'm just saying. Maybe something needs to happen. But yeah, that's what I did. That was my night last night, Chad. I had an amazing time in the club. Will never do it again, but I had an amazing time. Would I go again? Probably not. But hey, it is what it is. Oh, I realized that I did ask you guys about your feed earlier, and I forgot to tell you, and I totally forgot about telling you about my feed. My feed. I am known to steal stuff from my mom. Listen, I am not a particularly when it comes to sizes, most of the reason why I wear bigger sizes is because I'm a plus size man, right? I am a plus size boy. So, for the most part, the stuff that she wears does not really fit me. But this time around, I knew that this jacket that she had, it's a very intricate pattern of gold horses, emeralds, and gold chains. It is a jacket that has that pattern on it. I'm gonna see if I can crop my face off of it because it was 4 a.m. in the morning when I took this picture. It wasn't that good. Hold on. Let me just grab the picture. Let me just grab it. 1 sec. Because I did took a picture, and it was 4 a.m. in the morning when I took it. Because that's when I came back from home. That's when I came back home. So just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Chad. I'm just gonna censor my face because I genuinely did. Listen, after 4 hours of dancing in a really hot club, nobody ends up looking cute or hot, you know? Nobody ends up looking cute after 4 hours of dancing, so I don't really mind showing you my face, but I don't particularly want to show it to you today because I look really ugly on this picture. So yeah, like I said, this was a picture taken in the bathroom at 4 a.m. in the morning. I did not think about taking glamour shots. All I thought about was like, you know what? I must record the existence of this jacket. And so what do you think of this jacket, Chad? I completely stole it from my mom. The first thing that I did was like, you know what? I have my fit ready, but I feel like it's missing something. And so I looked at my mother and I said, hey, would you lend me something from my closet? From your closet? And she was like, what? And then I told her, hey, okay, I'm not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you until I have it on. And then you tell me. And so I put it on. I came out. And I could tell that she did not want to lend it to me. I could tell that she was not too keen about giving me this jacket for this night. Until she looked at me in my eyes and said, you know what? It just looks so good that I cannot tell you no. So my mom is the best on that. It's cute, thank you. I'm glad that it is cute. I really like the fit. I wish I would have gotten like full body pictures. But I just couldn't do it. I just didn't think about it. But yeah. Anyway, Chad, I did say that today's stream was going to be shorter than normal. Primarily because I am still feeling like garbage. I feel very bad. And I feel like, once again, it's probably coming from the fact that it was just an incredibly sensory overloaded experience. Like, I felt like fussy and quasi until like 2 a.m. in the morning, you know? And so even without drinking, I still feel as though I drank a whole bottle of wine. And I feel hangover, you know? It's just energy hangover. My energy as an extrovert was, the battery was overloaded and it exploded. So I genuinely do not feel good right now. And it has to do a lot with the fact that just the ambience was just very, very exasperating. So yeah, we're gonna be ending it pretty much here for today. I do have one last thing that I want to talk about though. Since we were talking about what's it called? Men and, you know, me liking men. You know. Before we go, thank you, Liv. Thank you, Hime, I appreciate it too. Before we go, I need to talk to you about something that I feel like is pretty concerning, right? So first of all, let me set the stage. Before I went to the party, and because I was so nervous, I wanted to do something to occupy myself with, and I decided to clean my PC. And you know how it is. If you have a PC and you clean it yourself, you know how it is. It's giving Jurassic Park. I was exhuming a corpse. It was very dusty. The amount of dust is like that scene in Jurassic Park in which they are uncovering bones, and you just have to cover the situation up. That's how dusty my PC was, because I hadn't cleaned it for like 5 months. So don't judge me. I know it's bad. but I had to do it anyway. And so because of the reason, because it was an insane amount of dust, I had to wear a mask, right? It's a whole thing. I had to wear protective gear. I had to be protected because I didn't know what kind of virus was inside of it. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know what kind of life form was living in there. You know? I was gonna ask you the last time you cleaned your PC was when you installed the GPU. No. I usually clean it more often. I clean it at least once or twice a month. You know? No, actually, that's not the way that I want to say. I clean it once, either every 2 months, more or less. Let's just put it that way. I clean it every 2 months. But I don't know. It just skipped my mind. I hadn't really been thinking about it. And my PC wasn't really giving me any issues, right? So, only until recently, because I noticed that my PC was running slower, I had to clean it. So, I cleaned it, right? Anyway, that's not part of the point of the story. Do not get fixated on the part that doesn't matter. Please, look away. Do as I say, not as I do. Clean your PC more often. Anyway. So, I had to wear a mask, right? And I'm gonna be honest. Here. I thought I looked better when my face was barely visible. I don't know. There was something about my face not really being visible that was kind of alluring, right? And not to make an exercise in narcissism, but I actually think my face is rather cute. I've been told, and I believe it myself, my face is rather cute. It is round, doesn't really have any wrinkles or any imperfections. It's more so just, it looks like normal people's skin. That's what I will say. It looks like normal people's skin. So I consider myself, at least in the face department, to look above average. You know, I think I'm very pretty normally. But when I looked at that, when I looked at myself in the mirror with a mask on, I was like, I'll tap that. I tap that. I would do that. I think I would. I think I would. I think it's a would. And so that reminded me about this very specific thing. That there is this Asian guy on YouTube who is a private chef. He always starts his videos saying, this is what I did in a day as a private chef in Beverly Hills or something. You know, he cooks for the rich people. And he's really hot. He's a really, really hot guy. I am incredibly infatuated with that man. And, you know, I was salivating. My glands were producing saliva. And, well, I guess the food is fine too. You know, it was more about the man, but the food is fine. The food is also tasty. And so, for the most part on his videos, he wears a mask. And when he took it off, I was a little bit disappointed, per se. There was something about it that made me feel like, oh, wait, no, put it back on. Just put it back on, please. And don't get me wrong, I still think he's hot. I still would jump that. I still would jump those bones. But there was just something so mystifying about the mask that I was, just put it back on for me, please. The mask stays on during sex, thank you. And I don't know what's happened to me. I'm gonna be for real. I don't know what's happened to me. I felt so superficial. Like, I feel like the older I'm getting, the more superficial I'm getting too. And it felt so bad. I was like, I used to be the boy who went, so long as they have a good personality, it doesn't matter to me. Looks don't matter to me. It's all about personality. And nowadays, I'm just literally profiling people's hotness based off not whether I can see their full face. It's just, I feel, I'm changing, Chad. I'm changing. And I don't know if it's for the better or the worse. Things are changing around here. And I don't know. Maybe this is called having standards? Is this what it is? Is this what it's like to have standards? Is this what it's like to have a preference? Is it that I've gone beyond the point of being desperate, and now I actually kind of want something good for myself? I don't know. You tell me. You be the judge. What do you think? Am I just a superficial bitch, or is it just having a preference? Because I feel like the internet has taught me that this that this type of stuff is not like a good thing to think about. So you let me know, because I am not really sure. Gay standards, gay adulting. I know, right? I felt like an adult for this past few weeks. Adulting has gotten really real as of late. Growth. It is growth? Okay, thank God. I have standards. Yay! I mean, don't get me wrong, I will still lick the ground of any man that pays attention to me. But at least for the most part, I think I'm developing a taste. And I feel so bad because that taste is not really what you would think it's the normal people's taste, but you know. No, it is a normal people's taste. I feel bad. Listen, the more I find out about myself, that I like buff guys. And I don't mean skinny buff guys. I don't mean guys with like a tiny little slut waist. No. I want men built like they have a strong core, you know? I want them to have a little plush on themselves. Not too much like a bear. Not that much of a bear, right? Not that much of a bear. I don't mind bears. Bears are cute. But I think what I've been noticing that my type is just men with big, broad backs with a relatively decent-sized torso. I don't want toothpicks, you know? A barrel chest. What is a barrel? A barrel chest. Oh, yes. Absolutely. You're still right. I love a barrel chest. I like a barrel chest. So, big bag, big broad bag, big arms, barrel chest. Like, I want the metal part to look like a square. I'm not really interested in triangles. I like squares. And unfortunately for me, I like men who have big tits. Like, the ass is a plus. Don't get me wrong. The ass is a plus. I would like to have a little bit of a bar to grab, right? But I think I'm blossoming into more of a tits type of man rather than an ass type of man. You know, I'm blossoming. That's how I would like to put it. I'm blossoming. I didn't know about this barrel chest. Huh. I will have to look more into this to see if it's correct or not. Because on some of the pictures that I'm getting here, it looks like a deformation. Like, I need to look at a picture that doesn't look like that doesn't look too much like it's a medical status, you know? Because I feel like some of these pictures are just extremes, you know? Some of these pictures are an extreme that I'm not really sure if this is exactly what I mean. Because I'm looking at this, right? More like a strongman build. Yeah. A strongman build. Exactly. A strongman build. Because when I'm looking at barrel chest, it looks medical. I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little medical. It looks like this is not normally supposed to happen type of thing. Yeah. I say that's the type of man that I'm into. Let me just grab a picture. Because some of the strongman builds are a little bit too extreme. Because here's the thing, I also don't find super strong, like super duper big muscly man to be attractive. I just like something normal, thank you. Something normal. Like more on the normal side, not in the this is a concerning amount of muscle type of thing. You know? I'm struggling to find a picture. I'm gonna end stream pretty soon, cheer chat. I just wanna let you know about the man that I like. So in case one of you is this type of man, that you can get into contact with me. You know, I'm just saying. Oh yes. Wait, I found it. I don't know who this man is. Sorry to this man, by the way. Sorry to this man. I don't know who this man is, and I am sorry that I'm putting you on blast in my stream. Oh, this is a tiny ass picture, but I mean, you get the. You get the point. Right? Right? You get the point. You get the point. Hold on. Here you go. Here you go. You get the point, right? You get the point, right? You get the point, right? Who is this man? I don't know who this man is, but I just grab a random picture of Google, but you get the point. You get the point. You know, middle torso that is relatively well built, not necessarily skinty, you know. And I think the biggest thing that I found out, this is just me. Oops, apologies. The biggest thing that I found out that I like a lot, aside from big broad bats, I love big arms. I want an arm that when I grab it, it feels hefty, you know? I want an arm that when I grab it, I feel protected. And also, I want the type of arm in which I need to use both of my hands to grab you, you know? I feel so bad. I feel so bad because this feels so, you know, Dave Bautista. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, you know what though? I feel so bad talking about this kind of stuff because it feels, what's to say? Talking about this type of stuff feels like so superficial to me. I don't want to be the type of person to be like, no twinks allowed type of thing. Because this is my thing for the longest time. Like, this is a preference, right? If you look like this is a bonus, right? This is a bonus. But if you look more on the chubbier side, if you look on the more on the skinny size, you know, that's okay with me too. You know, the only one thing that I find myself, because you know, I had like romance before. I had romances before, right? The one thing that I would say does turn me off is, unironically enough, femboys. I really don't have a particularly, how to put this in a way that makes sense. A particularly like strong. I don't. Let's just put it this way. I don't care for femboys. You know, like maybe if I meet the right femboy, who knows? But for the most part, I am very much open to anything, you know? You're allowed to have a preference. I mean, I know, but it just feels bad, you know? Because as a person who is pretty, but doesn't really, who looks slightly above average, I feel like it is not, it is not my place to be talking about people, you know? You know? Like, I look good enough that people would probably think that I'm pretty as well. Like, people would see me the way that I see myself. But I am not so amazingly good looking to feel like I can reject anyone, you know? I don't feel like I can reject anyone based on looks. Because I feel like that feels a little shallow. I don't know. Maybe this is just me. You're nearly a femboy yourself. Maybe, you know, I'm noticing a pattern. Maybe I hate myself. It's weird, right? It's so weird. And this is the same reason why I don't talk about this, right? It's the same reason why I don't talk about this, because I am a femboy myself. I consider myself a femboy. Regardless of my size, I consider myself a femboy because I am very femme. I don't think anybody's gonna fight me about that. But I just don't find myself attracted to myself. I find femboys pretty. I can tell you that much. I find femboys pretty. I find myself pretty. I would not want to fuck me. But that, I don't know. I feel like I'm just digging my grave over here. I feel like I'm digging my grave over here. I don't know. It's just preference, I guess. At the end of the day, it's preference. I would say, regardless of anything, no matter if you look like my perfect type, if you are an asshole, I'm sorry, it's a hard pass. That's just what I'm gonna say. If personality doesn't match looks, then I'm sorry. It's a hard pass. It's a hard pass. But yeah, anyway. I think that's good enough to leave it here. I feel like I've exposed myself enough. I feel like this is enough of a good chat for all of you to have a good impression of who I am already. So, but hey, I appreciate all of you for showing up. I'm gonna be honest. I never do just chatting streams because I feel like they're not engaging enough for me to for you guys to care. But you guys really came through. You really came through, and I appreciate all of you for this, honestly. I appreciate you for coming here just to listen to me ramble about what I did last night. But yeah. Anyway, Chad, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you guys have an amazing weekend. Now, thank you for coming, Gambius. I'm gonna let you guys have a lovely and amazing weekend. I myself, I'm gonna go back to editing, honestly. I need to finish that video. I was planning to have it ready by tomorrow, and I still want to have it ready by tomorrow, but I don't think it's gonna come out when I wanted it to come out. I don't think it's gonna come out in the morning because I still have a lot to edit. But ideally, it will come back on Sunday. Hopefully, it will come back on Sunday. Anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely day, lovely night. Thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you for choosing me as your entertainment for today. And I hope you guys have a lovely night, day, whatever it is for you. Feel better? Thank you. I hope you guys have a good night. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.